network is offline, predominantly due to the widespread loss of power. There's a further 209 sites running on generators and 9 on batteries. For fiber to home customers, we are seeing 20% customers offline due to no power in their homes. As we see the most impacted areas, we will work with our crews to focus on those areas first. Even if commercial power is still to be restored, we will keep generators fueled and gas the sites back to keep them up and running. They're also confirming that also in aid in recovery, we are working with the SMA to increase our spectrum bandwidth channels, as we know from our experience from Hurricane Beryl that the mobile infrastructure will be recovered much quicker than the fixed. So just to indicate that I, this morning at 3 o'clock, signed licenses for additional spectrum for Flow, Liberty Caribbean, and I'm awaiting Digicel to give them the same. For Flow, I'm happy to say that Liberty Caribbean operators of Flow Jamaica and Liberty Business is committed to playing its part for Jamaica to recover quickly from the inevitable damage following the passage of Hurricane Melissa. Again, with the spectrum that they have received, they will be bringing a new innovation, mobile connectivity via satellite, and facilitates SMS and text messages to areas affected in the aftermath of the storm. So this partnership promises to seamlessly enable 4G LTE mobile customers to send texts to their family and friends, even when the local network services may be interrupted. So that's huge, very huge. And this collaboration with Starlink reflects a deep commitment to the Caribbean and protecting Jamaica. So we look forward for that. And we also look forward for Digicel to do the same, which will give us a lot more ability to communicate and to recover as quickly as possible. This one is the big important one now, and that is the airports. Based on my consultations with PACAL and the Jamaica Civil Aviation Authority about the timeline for the Norman Manley International Airport to accommodate emergency relief flights after the passage of Hurricane Melissa, the assumption is that the system will leave Jamaica by the end of today, Tuesday, October 28th, and that the impact on the Norman Manley International Airport is not extensive. Both PACAL and JCA will use tomorrow, October 29th, to inspect and clean up the facility and restore the test equipment that have been decommissioned to accommodate flights. These emergency relief flights could therefore be accommodated as early as Thursday, October 30th, 2025. Again, we are not sure what's going to happen with Montego Bay, who will face at least a lower category, possibly category 3. So we aren't able to say anything on Sangster, but we know that it could have potential disabling impact for that airport. The good news is that the Ian Fleming International Airport is being considered as a part of contingency planning. So it means that we could get into Ian Fleming with certain types of aircrafts, and that will help us significantly based on the distance between Ian Fleming and Montego Bay. Petrojam, following another meeting this morning of the refinery, Petrojam is turning its attention to deepening participation in the broader national multi-agency response. Fuel security plays a key role, as we know, and Petrojam is assuring that all 3 international airports, in addition to all airdromes, are at 75 to 80% capacity for aviation fuel. This will enable aircraft movement to resume immediately. In addition, Petrojam has 2 to 3 weeks supply of aviation fuel at its Kingston and Montego Bay storage facilities. So in accordance with international standards, we will follow strict safe storage and rigorous testing prior to reopening. Jamaica Civil Aviation Authority, the microwave system is in general is operational, with the exception of the links between Winchester headquarters and Catherine Peak, which is currently offline. All remote sites are operating on generator power. So this means that we will be able to accommodate relief flights, which the requests are coming in fast and furious. And as I said before, we spoke about Airports Authority. Finally, I'll just give an update on JUTC. And that was up to 9 o'clock last night, reporting 361 persons that were taken to shelters in several parishes. All road operations for JUTC ceased last night, with the exception of transport assistance being provided to essential services staff, such as hospital workers. JUTC's emergency standby teams remain in place at all depots. We will have some kind of disruption to some of the buses, because those buses that use CNG will not be able to be fueled immediately due to the fact that the plant has been decommissioned. But let me close by saying, once again, that government, as you have heard and will hear from Minister Mackenzie, we are dotting all the I's and crossing all the T's to make sure that we facilitate all that is required for the response that is going to come in relation to the rebuilding phase after this catastrophic hurricane. So I want to just say to you, those of you who are still not taking it serious, you have but a few hours. And as I said before, based on what Evan said, the low-lying areas are going to be badly affected. Seek to go to higher ground and protect yourself and be smart. Again, commit to be here right through. And of course, if we work together, we will get through this once again. God bless Jamaica and keep safe.
Thank you very much, Minister Vaz. As you hear, we've not stopped working. He's not going to stop working to ensure that we have electricity and that we have telecom service. Right before this press briefing started, I heard him on the phone with JPS's head, and they were talking through how they were going to be making sure that we have electricity up in areas that aren't as badly affected, and then that we can recover even more quickly. He has not stopped working for us, and we have to obviously thank Starlink for that support that they're giving to our telecoms providers in Jamaica to ensure that even if our systems locally go down, that we will still be able to communicate internally and externally with the rest of the world. Also want to welcome the members of the media who are joining us from overseas. I know that the feed is going out also. We say good morning to you and good morning to all of your viewers out there too. Next up, we have Minister Desmond Mackenzie, who is not just our Minister of Local Government and Community Development. He is the one that's coordinating the entire disaster response, wearing his hat as the Deputy Chair of our National Disaster Risk Council. The chair is the Prime Minister, who is very much behind the scenes coordinating all of this and calling all of us for updates. And so this morning you will hear directly from Minister Mackenzie his updates on the entire disaster management framework.
Thank you, Minister Dixon. Again, let me commend you on the sterling job that you've been doing in presiding over these very important press briefing. Minister Vaz, Evan Thompson, my PS Director General acting, other support staff, and I want to acknowledge the team. The Jamaica Fire Brigade and the GADF was very active last night, responding to a number of calls to assist residents in sections of the corporate area. I want to, first of all, give an update on the state of shelters. Again, I want to repeat that all of the 800 and odd shelters are open. The numbers that I have presently speak to of the 800 shelters, 382 shelters are occupied so far, with a total of persons within these shelters of almost 6,000 persons. Just to give you a rundown of the numbers in Kingston and St. Andrew, there are 45 shelters which are open with 581 persons. In Clarendon, 39 shelters with a accommodation of over 865 in Clarendon. Westmoreland, 33 shelters open with over 500 persons. St. Mary, 27 shelters with over 500 persons. St. Catherine, 27 shelters, 394 persons. Portmore, 8 shelters, 74 persons. St. Thomas, 18 shelters, 609 persons. Manchester, 23, 135. St. Anne, I see here 18 shelters open, but 0. There seems to be no one in any shelters in St. Anne. We'll check on those numbers. And over 19 shelters are open with over 261 persons. St. James, 30 shelters, 209 persons. Trelawney, 10 shelters, 313. Portland, 59 shelters, 541. St. Elizabeth, 26 shelters, 289. Now, St. Elizabeth is of concern because I am understanding that we are getting calls before we came on here of persons in St. Elizabeth asking for transportation to be sent into various communities to transport persons out of those areas. As Minister Vaz have said, it is going to be difficult. I have given instructions to the ADPEM director and to the team to advise the disaster coordinators and the members of parliament and the mayors wherever transportation is needed and they can get those transportation, they should do everything that is possible to provide the transportation to take the people out. But the system that we have had, as Minister Vaz said, those systems have been put on hold now because of the closeness of the system. So I would urge persons who can move to do so, and the mayors and the CEOs and the councillors and the members of parliament to do everything that is possible to assist those persons in moving. The impact of Melissa is being felt. Evan gave full details. We are having reports of widespread impact across several parishes which are seeing increased number of land slippage, flooding, fire, storm surge, and power outage. Roads in St. Thomas, Portland, and St. Catherine were blocked by fallen trees, poles, landslides, and most of these have been clear. And I want to make the point that the team that are on the road, the roving teams that have been pre-positioned, have been responding. Once the report is sent to the team, they are out there actually doing the work. So if you are in an area where there is blockage and fallen trees, you can send us the information, and once that is possible, we will send the team out. Minister Vaz, I see a report here, fire on GPS pole lines in certain sections. Storm surge affect Old Harbour Bay and other such communities. Caribbean Terrace is experiencing flooding, and I want to say that that is a community that I think we have to pay more attention to, because many years ago, when I was mayor, a section of Caribbean Terrace was devastated, and we are now seeing again, based on the information that is coming, and I'm going to ask the team to do some more checking to see the extent of what is taking place in Caribbean terrace. We are experiencing, as I said before, land slippage in many communities in Portland, St. Thomas, St. Elizabeth, St. Thomas, and many other communities are experiencing those challenges as I speak at this time. This is the last briefing that we'll be able to give as update, but I will spend 2 minutes again. God has been merciful because we've been talking about Melissa coming for almost a week. And still today, when we are expecting Melissa, there are still, as Evan have said, a small window of opportunity. Let us use it and use it wisely. Let us respond, I hope, by within the next hour. When I get an update, I will see more persons in shelters and we will see more people responding. Jamaica, this is not the time to be brave. I've been saying for 1 week, don't bet against Melissa. It is a bet we can't win. I want to close because the reports is short and we want persons to go to do what they can do for themselves, their families. And I want to thank all of you who have left your homes and have been spending time here, camping out, members of the media. Last night I walked and I interacted with them before I went to bed in my little corner. And, you know, it was commendable to see the media and other support staff leaving their families and things. And this is a commitment that we are making for the betterment of Jamaica. Already we have started, as I said from yesterday, to look at how we're going to map our recovery. We have to start to look at that. We can't wait until Melissa has come to start to say how we are going to prepare ourselves for the recovery. We have started to do that in the meetings that we have been having. But I want to thank the team. And I know that Jamaicans are grateful. And we are all praying for the best outcome. So as I said before, whatever windows are available, I am asking those, especially in St. Elizabeth and those areas, who can move to do so at this time. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister Mackenzie. I just wanted to note, given that we have a lot of our members of the diaspora on, you've been asking a lot about how you can support Jamaica. Just noting that I'm very, very pleased this morning to announce the launch of our Support Jamaica website. It is supportjamaica.gov.jm. We've already been made aware of some nefarious individuals trying to collect money on behalf of Jamaica. We remind you that this will be the official site. If it doesn't have .gov.jm, it is not legitimate. It's not an official Government of Jamaica site. And so it will be supportjamaica.gov.jm, and it will be our online platform developed by the Government of Jamaica to mobilize support, to channel relief and coordinate recovery efforts in the wake of Hurricane Melissa. In it, you're going to have a donate now page where you can donate using your credit or debit cards, and you will also be able to give pledges. You also have all the information on ODPEM's bank accounts. If you want to do a bank transfer, you can do so there. A new innovation on that site is that you will be able to give updates on emergencies. So if there's an issue that you see in your area, you want to upload a picture, maybe there is flooding, maybe there is a town that has been cut off, you can actually notify us through that website also. It also has an interactive shelter locator for those who may need it. Even if you have to help someone to find a shelter, please use it. It will give you all the shelters that are near you. You can actually put in what parish you're in or what area you're in, and you can geolocate